So, once again, you get to stare at my ugly mug for just a little bit. This is another episode of Haunted History with the Hometown Historian channel. I am your host, Jonathan Miller. So, this particular story, it actually takes place down near Fort Hunter, which we had visited along the Susquehanna River previously. And at some point, I want to go back there again and film a little more intensively because it's just such a neat place, and just film some of the really cool buildings there. But anyways, there's this creek that goes through in that general region in the Fishing Creek Valley called Stoney Creek. And this is where this story supposedly happened, this bit of haunted history. And it's sort of a creepy tale. And so we're going to go into some pictures, and you're going to get to not have to stare at my ugly mug, which is a haunted history tale in and of itself. But it'll be fun, and enjoy. So as I said earlier, this is a story that happens in Dauphin County near Fort Hunter, Pennsylvania, and it's near the general region where it happens is the Stoney Creek. Where exactly, who knows whether this is even actually a true story or it's just, a local legend, if you will. So this is the local legend of the Jilted Man, the Cursed Maiden, and the Witch. So the story goes, there was this young man, we'll call him Bruce. The names elude me. I read this story, couldn't find it again. But anyways, Bruce McNally of the Valley. Valley, you say, that would be the Fishing Creek Valley. So Bruce had young Ellen, a maiden, beautiful, extraordinary. He saw her singing by the creek, and he was instantly smitten. Problem with Bruce is that Bruce was arrogant, ignorant, and quite oblivious to the fact that women didn't naturally find him to be the most beautiful thing on the face of the planet. But Bruce knew one thing. He was going to marry Ellen, if it was the last thing he did. So he came up to her, he proposed. Unfortunately, his reputation preceded him, and Ellen wasn't interested. She said no. Bruce was let down, but he thought, hey, it's all right. It's the hunt, and it'll make it all the more pleasurable to eventually win her heart. Of course, Bruce had no idea how to win her heart. He just thought his natural good looks and how awesome he was. He was very much like, you would say, Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. And he proposed again. Ellen said no. Once again, a little bit of a letdown, but Bruce was pretty confident in himself, I would say. And he decided, we'll propose again. So he found her again, proposed. She said no. And she said very simply, Bruce, I would rather marry a bog turtle. Now, if you've ever seen your common bog turtle, not the prettiest thing in the world. This devastated Bruce. Bruce could not comprehend how anyone, especially as fair and beautiful as young Ellen, would prefer a bog turtle to him. He also did not have a sense of humor, and it went right over his head. Bruce was angry this time, though, and he vowed to Ellen that he would curse the very memory of her, and that he would gain the assistance of the witch of the Stoney Creek to curse her and to ruin her life forevermore. Ellen sort of laughed at this. Yeah, there was a little bit of fear in that because rumors were around this Mrs. Brooks that she was a witch, but she didn't think Bruce was that smart, which he wasn't, and she didn't think that he would actually follow up on doing anything. Problem is, Ellen didn't understand how nasty Bruce was when he was jilted like this. Bruce indeed did go to this witch, Mrs. Brooks, and asked her to curse Ellen. And curse Ellen she did. About a week later, Ellen fell sick. Just odd things that weren't normal, and her father was like, I don't know what's understanding. She's young, she was healthy, and now all these things are happening to her. And she was basically on death's door. Then Ellen mentioned Bruce had said he was going to get a witch to curse her. And it was this Mrs. Brooks. Well, the area finally felt like it was confirmed that this lady was a witch. And they wound out ultimately chasing Mrs. Brooks and her family out of the area. Now, the Brooks family, denied that this was ever the case. Bruce was laughing. He thought it was hilarious, and eventually Bruce got chased out of the area as well, being the Jilted Man. Now, a lot of people wondered, is this curse real, or was this just something that was made up? Well, Ellen's father passed away rather suddenly, right as Ellen started to get better. And then, years later, Ellen got married, and her husband died. Just dropped dead out of nowhere. And they sort of wondered, was this curse real, or was it just coincidence? I guess we'll never know. Was Mrs. Brooks a witch? Did Bruce actually, through his nastiness, cause dismay and sorrow in Ellen's life? Did Ellen eventually marry a bog turtle? Nobody knows. Once again, whether this story is true or not, we joke about it and have a little bit of fun with it, but this was another local legend, haunted tale over in that Fort Hunter region about the Jilted Man, the young maiden, and the cursed maiden, I should say, and the witch, Mrs. Brooks. Once again, whether it's true or not, who knows, but it was a fun tale. It was a fun tale to read. A little bit of a variance on that tale because it was pretty straightforward and bland, sort of like the old folklore tales, but it's still nonetheless it's a pretty cool tale. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for coming along on another episode of Haunted History, and as always, we will see you all about town.